Hi, Peter Charles here, Hooked for Life Fly Fishing, and today we're going to do a video series, the start of a video series that I swore I was never going to do. And I'm going to do a series on fly fishing knots. So let's talk about the first knot, probably one of the most important knots you can use in fly fishing. It's the knot that we use to join two pieces of mono or two pieces of fluorocarbon together. It's called the double surgeon's knot or the triple surgeon's knot. They're the same knot, just one extra turn for the triple, and I'll show you both. What's important about the double or triple surgeon's knot is that it enables us, say, take this leader here, this 5X leader, and as we use the leader, it starts to wear down as we start attaching more and more flies to it, and then the tippet section is just getting shorter, 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 so we can use a double or triple surgeon's knot now to attach some more 5X tippet to it, which we buy on these little spools. So I can keep going with my leaders. I can keep extending my leaders as they wear down, and I keep going, and that's great. I can attach more tippet to a leader. However, I can also use it if I was building my own leaders out of this, or maybe I have some 3X and I wanted to reduce it to 5X. I can do that. I can drop it down. So it's used also for connecting different sizes of mono or fluorocarbon. I can use this knot to make my own leaders. Here I've got 10, 12, 15 pound fluorocarbon. So typically I go 10, 12, 15 to taper down. I might jump 10 to 15 on some leaders. Depends. But you don't want to make the jump too big. If you went from, say, 30 pound to 8 pound, that knot would not hold. It will break. Same thing with our leader system. If I went from, let's say, 0x to 7x, no chance, it's going to break. So I would say keep it within 5 pound test for breaking strain rated lines. For the X rated lines like this, that's a bad way to put it, X rated. X system lines like this tippet material, go down 2 steps, 3 to 5, 4 to 6. Once you get beyond 2, you have to tie that knot quite precisely, and if you get too much, it just breaks. So let's get into tying our double surgeon's knot. Now the white section here is going to be our tippet. That's going to go to the fly. The black section is the leader. It's going to go to the fly line. So our first thing we do is we've lined the two sections together like this. We put them aligned to each other. And then I just make a loop, and you'll notice I've pushed the loop behind, so the leader end is in front and the tippet end is behind. And that's because I'm going to come over the front like this with our first turn. So I'm going to put in 2 turns. I put in 1. And then I'm going to put in a second. So that's what it looks like when you're done. I've got you can see the tag end just sticking out there of the leader, and you've got 2 turns through the loop, and then you just grab the tag and the main lines and just pull. And if you do it really nicely, you get a lovely looking knot like that. So that works fine. They're quick to tie. You can do them very, very easily. The thing about this is, though, and it's not so noticeable with my cord, but if you did this with mono, you'd see that it comes off at a bit of an angle. The knot does not, lie at 180 degrees. The 2 lines do not lie at 180. There'll be a little bit of an off angle. That doesn't bother some people. It does bother other people. But, you end up with a pretty simple knot. It's quite reliable and it works fine. So let's look at the triple surgeon's knot. Same idea, the white is my tippet, the black is my leader. I'm going to make a loop as before. Now you notice where I placed my thumb. Alright, this is true for both knots. I'm placing my thumb to hold it in position so I can manipulate the line like this, and I don't lose my grip on it. Things don't start shifting on me. Now, The trick is, when you're doing this, because you're doing an extra turn, you see how I moved my thumb? Now I put in another turn, and here's the difference with the triple surgeon's knot. You're putting in a third one. And now we begin to tie. We tighten down, and there's our triple surgeon's knot. Now that one comes off straight. Okay, that's the advantage when you're doing that. Now, the other thing I haven't talked about is wetting this. When you are ready to start tightening, before you even move them, wet them in your mouth. Then pull, and you pull them both, the tag and the main line, and you pull them tight. But make sure you wet them first before you do that. If you don't wet them, you will heat the line up and they'll be weak and it'll break. That's one issue that you have to be aware of. The other issue you have to be aware of is this is not the strongest knot to join two pieces of mono together. The double uni and the blood knot are probably going to be a better choice if you're looking for absolute maximum strength. But this is pretty close. I mean, I'm not saying it's substantially weaker, it's just a little bit weaker. So you can use these two knots quite reliably, but you may find, and I find this myself, is that if I break off on a snag, for example, I'm breaking off at the double or the triple surgeon's knot. I'm not breaking off at the fly end. That end, and so I lose this section. But the flip side, very quick to tie, very easy to tie. You can even tie it in the dark if you get used to it. I mean, this is probably the quickest and simplest knot that you can tie on the water, and get fishing quickly. And so why it gets used a lot, because it's such an easy knot to tie. So there you go, the double or triple surgeon's knot. Give them a try. Personally, I use the triple all of the time, but the double works just fine too. Cheers.